The issue of Australia's position in an international arena on repat, I think Australia does stand up very well. We were certainly early in this field, but certainly in an international sphere, we're a world leader. I mean, there's no equivalent. New Zealand has an international repat section within Te Papa, I think, and that's funded by their central government. But our actual federal policy, policy of repatriation, which is funded and has extensive links into Europe and those sorts of things, is unique. America, for instance, has NAGPRA, but that's an internal. Like a lot of things in America, it's internally focused. They're not because their collections are so huge. You're talking tens of thousands of ancestors in one museum, and you multiply that by hundreds of museums. So, Japan's only just recently started to deal with their Ainu ancestral remains, and there's even talk about remains going back to Okinawa. But this has been a long haul. I mean, I've been involved in one committee or another dealing with international for about 20 years, and it really, you actually have to refight every country you go to. You refight the old war. They use the same arguments they used in Australia in the 80s. These are scientific importance. These people aren't related to these ancestors. We only need to do one more test. Can we do some DNA and those sorts of things are the new things. But we broke the barriers in the UK. Germany's really opening up now. They're even talking about the genocide in Namibia, Southwest Africa, German colony before the First World War. So there is a movement around the world of acknowledging the rights of Indigenous people, and I think in this one sort of area that Australia can be very pleased with its relationships and with its long-term policies. That doesn't mean we can't tweak them, and we do tweak them quite regularly, and that's where we're hoping that we'll have a national resting place in Canberra for remains that just say things. Quite often the provenancing of ancestors are not. There is no provincing, they just say Aboriginal, Australian Aboriginal, west of the Darling River or things like that. And there is a plan and hopefully some government funding to set up an Aboriginal run facility in Canberra to house those ancestors until the broader Aboriginal community can come to grips with what to do with those ancestors. So yes, Australia stands way front of many other countries, Western equivalent countries. I think our policies have evolved tremendously. We're now talking about DNA, we're talking about hair, all those sorts of things that 20 years ago it was only about the ancestors coming back. So these are the sorts of policies that the federal government's Committee on Repatriation is dealing with at the moment, and I'm involved in that.